Hi friends, today I'm going to teach you how I easily stitch my flowers. Together we're going to stitch this beautiful pink flower that is actually a part of my pattern, Summer at Skelly's. If you're interested in this pattern, you can get it as a single digital download for $12. Or if you're still watching this and it's July 2025, you can actually sign up for my pattern subscription service and get this pattern instantly for $7. I'll link both of those in the description below. If you sign up to be a pattern subscriber, you get a brand new beginner-friendly embroidery pattern delivered straight to your inbox every month for only $7. All right, let's get started. For the flower petals, I'll be using 3 strands of thread. If you're unsure about how to separate your thread or tie off in the back, watch my everything you must do before embroidering video. I have it tagged in the description for you if you want to watch it before starting this one. I always like starting in the center of my flower petals and then working my way out. So to begin, I'm going to pull my needle through the back of the fabric at the very top center of the flower petal. Now I'm going to insert my needle back into the fabric at the very bottom center of the flower petal. And then I'm going to pull my needle all the way through. Now I'm going to pull my needle through the top of the flower petal directly next to the stitch we just made. And I'm just going to be following the outline of the flower petals. Now I'm going to add a shorter stitch, and I want to make sure the bottom of this doesn't meet the very bottom of the flower petal. So I'm going to make it about right here. I'm going to pull my needle through the very top again, directly next to the stitch we just made. Now for this stitch, I am going to bring it all the way down to the bottom of the flower petal, and I'm just following the outline of the petal. So that looks like it would be about right here. Now I'm going to pull my needle through the top again. And this stitch is going to be shorter again, so I'm not going to bring it all the way down to the bottom of the petal. I'm just going to put it about like right here. Pulling my needle through the top again. And I will bring this one all the way down to the bottom of the petal. And we're just alternating between a long stitch and a short stitch. Now this side is complete. The reason we alternate lengths is because if we brought all the stitches all the way down to the bottom of the flower petal, the bottom of the petal would get crowded really fast and it would be really difficult to pull our needle through. And so by alternating, it's a lot easier and we're not putting our needle back into the same spot again and again and pulling it back through. So it just makes it easier to stitch in the long run. We're going to repeat these same exact steps to the other side of the petal. So the one in the center is a long stitch. So for this one, we will do a short stitch. So short and then long. Do another short one. And long. Now we will repeat these same steps on the next flower petal. So this looks to be about the center to me. When I like a little preview of where my stitch is going to be, with my opposite hand, I'll grab the thread and I will hold it and see where I want this to be. And I want my stitch to be about right here because I want the bottom to meet the bottom of the flower petal that we just did. And now we're going to repeat the same steps. So we're going to make a short stitch and then a long stitch until the side of the flower petal is filled in. And I want the bottom of these stitches to match up with the bottom of the flower petal that we just stitched, because we don't want any open fabric spaces in here. If there are, it's not a big deal, but our goal is to not have any. For adding highlights, I always use one single strand of thread. I'm going to create 2 to 3 single stitches in each flower petal. You can customize this by adding as many or as few as you'd like. It's totally up to you. So I'm just going to start by making one right here, and I'm not going to start all the way at the top of the flower petal. There's no right or wrong. You can do whatever, but I'm going to start about right here. And then I am just going to insert my needle back down here, and I'm just going to follow the directions of the stitches that are already there. Kind of feeling like making another one here. Maybe one over here. I try to make them different lengths just so they each look a little different, but once again, there's no right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking about while I'm creating these highlights. For the pistil, I am going to use 6 strands of thread, and I am just going to start at the very top here, following my outline, and make a single straight stitch. And so I'm just going to insert my needle back into the center of the petal. For the pollen at the top, I'm just going to create 2 to 3 double French knots. And look how gorgeous she is. If you found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.